Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego welcomes you to what is a historic event in the life of a Marine, their graduation from boot camp. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 100 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All of our efforts here are geared toward one end, producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marines. This morning, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, will form and march in the parade. Following the pass and review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is Captain Austin N. Hogan, Company Commander, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is First Lieutenant Marlon C. Webster, Executive Officer, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 483 of the graduating Marines from Company H. Amongst the 483 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performance in 2 individually graded events. Private First Class Oscar J. Galaviz from Platoon 2171 is the company high shooter, scoring a 345 out of 350. Private First Class William C. Schrant from Platoon 2175 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 in both the physical fitness test and the combat fitness test. They will be receiving an award from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Also present today is the Company Honor Graduates Recruiter, Staff Sergeant Todd D. Hughes, Jr. Not present today, but also worth mentioning, is the primary marksmanship instructor with a platoon high average of 229 for Platoon 2175, Sergeant Joseph Garcia. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 245 years, Marines have fought and won wherever and whenever the nation calls, in the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies, Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Though battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steeled resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company H, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade deck, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hand over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear, to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Following the command, parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops. Officer Center March. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, the battalion commander for 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel R. Myers.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for being here. On behalf of Brigadier General Jason L. Morris, the Commanding General of the Western Recruiting Region and the Marine Corps Recruit Depot here at San Diego, as well as on behalf of Colonel Joseph W. Jones, the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, it's my privilege to welcome you to Company H's graduation. I would like to begin my remarks today by recognizing a few groups of individuals. First and foremost, to all you family and friends out there of these new Marines, I want to personally thank you for all your love and support of them during recruit training, for it has been vital to their success. You gave them the preparation and the foundation that helped them overcome the many mental and physical challenges during their time here. And you also instilled in them the courage and commitment that helped them take those initial steps towards becoming a United States Marine. And for that, we are forever grateful. To the families of the drill instructors and officers of Company H seated right here to the right of the reviewing stand, no one knows more than you the time and dedication that it takes to transform civilians into Marines. And so I want to personally thank you for your many, many sacrifices that allows these officers and drill instructors to perform a mission that is absolutely critical to our national security. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these family members a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize today's parade reviewing official, Colonel Jeffrey S. Denmore, whose impressive bio you will hear shortly. Colonel Dismore is currently serving as Assistant Chief of Staff G2 for 1st Marine Division. Sir, it's an honor to have you. Thank you for joining us today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, making Marines is truly a team effort. And at the very forefront of that effort are recruiters sprinkled across this great country of ours. We could not do our job here on the depot if it wasn't for the recruiters finding and sending us qualified applicants who possess that strong desire to become a United States Marine. Today, they are represented here by Staff Sergeant Todd Hughes from Recruiting Station Indianapolis, Indiana. He is responsible for finding and sending us a company honor man, Lance Corporal Drain Johnson II. Staff Sergeant Hughes, thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him and all our recruiters out there a round of applause. Now, I have one more group that I'd like to recognize. And I'm going to tell you, they really don't need much of an introduction. They're the individuals standing behind me wearing those distinctive green campaign covers. They're the legendary Marine Corps drill instructors. And from the moment a recruit steps foot here on the depot, there's a drill instructor with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I will tell you, you can ask any Marine, including your new Marine, and they will tell you they will forever remember the name, the face, or that gentle, loving voice that's woken them up every morning for the last 13 weeks of their drill instructor. And so I encourage you after today's ceremony to find some of these fine drill instructors and thank them for their service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these drill instructors a round of applause. And now I'd like to tell you a little bit about these new Marines and a little bit about their training that they just went through. You see, when they first came to us, they were fit, young, already in better shape than most people their age. On average, they were 18 years old, and 99% of them were high school graduates, and one even had his college degree. Furthermore, they displayed the courage and commitment that few of their peers could muster when they raised their right hand, swore a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution, and then traveled here from across every state and territory in the Western Recruiting Region and 14 other countries across this globe. Some coming in as far as Philippines, Thailand, and others from right here within San Diego. And when they arrived here, well, that's when steel began to sharpen steel. as these drill instructors forged them through the fires of the crucible into a tightly cohesive group of physically fit, disciplined Marines, honing their minds and their bodies until they proved themselves capable of marching long distances across mountainous terrain with minimal food and sleep to be where they're needed, when they're needed to accomplish the mission. Now, many of you know they've undergone some changes. Yesterday, you saw that they have stand a little taller, they look a little fitter, and moms, I'm going to tell you this, they know how to get up in the morning and make their beds. And dads, that haircut that you've always wanted them to get, well, they got it, and I promise you they'll keep it for the foreseeable future. But I want you to know that truly, the most important change is one that has occurred within. For they have been thoroughly immersed in our core values of honor, courage, and commitment. And just by virtue of them standing here today means they've accepted those values as their own. And it's because of this, because the journey that they have made, and that physical, mental, and moral development that they have displayed, that through their blood, sweat, and tears, they are now proud to forever claim that title of United States Marine. And I am proud to introduce to all of you 483 members of Company H as our nation's newest Marines. Now, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I turn and address these Marines one last time before we conclude today's ceremony. Good morning, Marines. Good morning, sir. Hoorah! Like I've told you before, Sergeant Major and I are extremely proud of you. Every challenge, every obstacle that we put in your path, you crushed it, and you truly earned the title of United States Marine. When you arrived here and stepped off that bus onto those legendary yellow footprints for the very first time, these drill instructors focused on instilling discipline, resiliency, and our core values in you until you demonstrated our Marine attributes of exemplary character and mental and physical toughness. And as you progressed in your training, you entered our martial arts program where you earned your tan belt. Some of you learned how to swim for the very first time as you entered our aquatics program. And many of you completed the time on your hands and found how to complete that obstacle course. And then you learned Weapons Field Training Battalion and traveled up there where you learned to deliver precision fires on pinpoint targets from a staggering distance of over 500 yards away, demonstrating our warfighting ethos, culture, and skills. And as a final test, you participated in that grueling 3-day exercise where you were given billets that required you to demonstrate leadership, initiative, and a bias for intelligent action until you fully demonstrated at a level that we expect of every single Marine all of our attributes. So now, having completed the longest, the hardest, and certainly the most demanding recruit training across this globe, you stand ready to carry on our Marine traditions as our nation's naval expeditionary force in readiness and defend our great nation against all enemies. Now, as you travel away from here and on to your next duty station, I implore you to be safe, be smart, make good decisions like we've taught you. Never forget that eagle, globe, and anchor that was pressed into the palm of your hand on top of that Reaper, for it represents over 245 years of Marine Corps traditions. You must always be worthy of that legacy and protect what you have earned. And so on behalf of the officers, the drill instructors, and the support personnel here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, it is my privilege to give you a traditional Marine Corps parting of fair winds and following seas. Congratulations, Marines. Semper Fidelis, and welcome to our Corps.
Now taking the position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing official, Colonel Jeffrey S. Dinsmore. He is accompanied by Colonel Joseph W. Jones, Commanding Officer for Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Jeffrey S. Dinsmore, Assistant Chief of Staff, G2, 1st Marine Division, Camp Pendleton, California. Colonel Dinsmore originally enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1986. He commissioned through the Meritorious Commissioning Program in 1997. After graduating the basic school, Colonel Dinsmore obtained the military occupational specialty of 0207, Air Intelligence Officer. Colonel Dinsmore has served in a variety of challenging billets in numerous commands, to include serving as an intelligence officer at 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, Ground Intelligence Officer and Company Commander at 1st Reconnaissance Battalion, Marine Air Ground Task Force Intelligence Officer at United States Special Operations Command, Deputy Assistant Chief of Staff, G2, and Commanding Officer at Headquarters Battalion, Camp Pendleton, California, and Commanding Officer at 1st Radio Battalion, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force. Colonel Dinsmore currently serves as the Assistant Chief of Staff, G2, for 1st Marine Division, Camp Pendleton, California. His awards include the Bronze Star Medal, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal with 1 Gold Star in lieu of 2nd Award, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 1 Gold Star in lieu of 2nd Award, Joint Service Achievement Medal with 1 Gold Star in lieu of 2nd Award, and the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 1 Gold Star in lieu of 2nd Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colonel Jeffrey S. Dinsmore. More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Iraq, Marjah, Afghanistan, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Troops, Captain Austin N. Hogan, Company Commander, and the Regimental Staff. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Series 2169. Series Commander, First Lieutenant Aiden J. Lang. Platoon 2169. Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Derek R. Goldman. Platoon 2170, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Taylor J. Ball. Platoon 2171, Senior Drill Instructor, Sergeant Shane T. Schrader. The Regimental Color Guard is led by Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor, Sergeant Nigel T. Tillman. Series 2173, Series Commander, Captain Maxwell R. Bomar. Platoon 2173, Senior Drill Instructor, Sergeant Benjamin J. Rodegero. Platoon 2174, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Israel J. Prater. Platoon 2175, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Damian L. Brown. The Marines hymn has a history dating back to 1859. It is a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed that all Marines present and who have served honorably sing the words to the first verse as Marine Band San Diego performs the Marines hymn. Will the guests please rise? The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine, have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 14 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company H prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp today, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Austin N. Hogan. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Leopoldo L. Bernardo, Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company H. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the Guidons. The Guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such Guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these Guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the Platoon Honor Graduates. The Platoon Honor Graduates compete for the titles of Series and Company Honor Graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps. The Guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors.
Forward! Halt!
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized. The honor graduates will be presented a plaque donated by the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. The honor graduate for platoon 2169 is Private First Class Jared B. McMillan from Moreno Valley, California. The honor graduate for platoon 2170 and the series honor graduate is Private First Class Hunter D. Whaley from Peoria, Arizona. The honor graduate for platoon 2171 is Private First Class Chase M. Coleman from Indianapolis, Indiana. The honor graduate for platoon 2173 is Private First Class Ethan M. Gabe from Luther, Oklahoma. The honor graduate for platoon 2174 and also the company honor graduate is Lance Corporal Dwayne A. Johnson from Indianapolis, Indiana. Lance Corporal Dwayne A. Johnson is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. And the honor graduate for platoon 2175 is Private First Class Caden L. Barker from Austin, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduates of Company H.
First, sir! Reporting, sir! Yes, sir!
The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.